All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. It's so good to do a match preview. Premier League is back. I am so happy. We are done with the international break for the time being. Of course, it's going to be back in 4 weeks' time, which is very annoying. But there is lots and lots of games to look forward to until then, which is going to be fantastic. Live chat, thank you so much for joining. As always, smash the like button straight away. Let's keep a track of the likes. Hopefully we get a nice turnout and we can try and achieve 100 likes for the stream, which will be brilliant. Already I can see a few of the regulars, the Coin Gang, the Coin Family. The Coin Family is here, which is great to see. As you can see, I've got my team here, a newbie, Daniel, who's not really a newbie. He's already featured in the channel, but you're going to see a lot more of Daniel for the previews. And Ishan, he's a goat of this channel right now, and he's going to be massively featuring for previews and watch-alongs and reviews. So you're going to see a lot of Ishan, because obviously now transfer news times are over. Ishan has found himself a new job, and this is the new job for the time being. But first of all, Daniel, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing well, mate. Thank God the Premier League is back. You know, lockdown's hard enough, but international break, that's just too much.
Lockdown and then international break, it's like double the pumping. And exactly. It's not nice at all. Ishan, my boy, how's things?
Nah, it's good, man. It's exciting now. Thankfully, as Daniel said, it's match week. It's going to be some big games, not just Chelsea's game, but other games as well. It's going to be very, very exciting to see how things, transpire. But yeah, really, really excited for this show as well.
100%. Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got nearly 20 plus here. Smash the like button. Let's get those likes up straight away. Keep a track of these likes as we go along. Already quite a few people, as I said. RD, thanks for joining. RD, my man, look, I don't know what is wrong. You are having a go. This channel is not about slandering any player. This channel is all about discussions and discussing matters. It's not about player out or player in. It's none of that. We're talking about critical things. So honestly, if you're looking for a argument or a fight or something like that, honestly, this is not the channel for you, man. I'm sorry to say this. You're not going to get drama here. You're going to get proper discussion. So if you enjoy proper discussion, then stick around for it. If not, well, it is what it is. But I do appreciate you coming along, which is great. Sudhazan, thank you so much for joining, my man. It's always great to see you. Ricky Wheeler, good to see you, my man. Let's keep this debate and not an argument. We're all Chelsea fans. Exactly. This is what we do here. This is, there are other channels. Ishan knows it very well. Daniel knows it very well. There are other channels that fight and argue. You're more than happy to go there if that's what you want. You're not going to get that here. You're going to get proper discussions here. That's all I'm going to say. Brent Smith, thank you so much for joining, my man. Like always, one of the biggest supporters of the channel. Prashant, thank you heaps. Almighty Blue FC, guys, go and follow Almighty Blue FC, another Chelsea content creator, very hardworking content creator. Go and follow him as well. Subscribe to him, please. Bonolo, thank you so much for joining. And yeah, nearly 30 of you guys are here. Smash the like button. Let me know where you guys are joining in from. It'd be awesome to know where you guys are tuning in. We're going to get straight into this, and I'll probably do another shout out for the live chat very, very soon. Ishan, let's start with the press conference like we always do. Recapping the press conference. There wasn't too many huge drama sort of things to talk about, but some important news to talk about. And it starts from the injury front, who's available, who's not, who's predicted to start and all that. We're going to keep Pulisic for a little bit later, because I think there's a bigger story there. N'Golo Kante, he's not going to be featuring against Aston Villa. He's 100% out for this particular match. Chelsea's trying their best to have him ready for the Zenit match. But I feel like, Ishan, this is the trend now we need to expect for N'Golo Kante. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, that fantastic player. We need him. There's talks I saw in social media that there are talks about, getting a contract extension for N'Golo Kante. I think he's got another 2 more seasons left with Chelsea. So there is talks about contract extension. But I think we need to start appreciating the fact, Ishan, is that we can't expect Kante to play 2-3 games a week. Soon, that's what it's going to be. We've got a game against Aston Villa, we've got a game against Zenit, we've got a game against Spurs. 3 games over the next probably 7-8 days. We're not going to see Kante play every single game. I mean, how do you feel about that? What is your thought process down the track? Also, Thomas Tuchel talked about Saul and the importance of bringing him in. And he said it. He was happy with the squad, but he was worried to go in with Kante, Kovacic and Jorginho with all the matches we're playing. We've got Club World Cup as well in December. So how do you feel about this whole situation about the midfield, Kante, and of course, Saul coming in as well?
This is a good topic for discussion, to be very honest, because Thomas Tuchel said clearly that he was asked about Saul and all the deals, the final deadline they're signing, and Thomas Tuchel said that he had the perception in his mind that he was going into the season with the 3 midfielders only, Kovacic, Jorginho, and Kante. He did not picturize anyone else in his mind. But deep down inside, we all know that it's a huge risk going for just 3 players for 2 positions. It's a risk. Now you see Kante getting injured, and you have the risk of burning out Jorginho and Kovacic. You can't be playing them every single match. There is a risk of burning out. So we all know the fact that it's difficult to play. To have 3 players for 2 positions in the whole playing 11 and not have a backup. Now having Saul adds that adds that strength to our bench. Also, he'll not be the substitute guy. He won't be the rotation guy. He'll be a proper playing 11 player.
See, this is the thing, just quickly, Ishan. A lot of people are still thinking Saul's like this 4th choice midfielder. I think we need to forget about this 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th choice. Saul is proper going to be part of this team.
100%, man, 100%. He's and he's not a guy who would be happy to be in the bench for the majority part of the season, and he knows that. He knows the fact that Chelsea have got 3 midfielders, and he also might know the fact that Kante is prone to injuries, and even if Kante is not, we cannot have the risk of playing Kante every single match. He knows that, and definitely that opens the door for Saul. So it's better for Saul as well as Chelsea to have Saul in the squad. That adds up the whole opens the door of quality that Saul brings to the table, and it's a big boost. Now talking about N'Golo Kante, yes, we expected that. I think so. We expected his injuries, and we also knew the fact that Chelsea, even if he's not injured, we also know the fact that Chelsea is very much conservative when it comes to N'Golo Kante. We do not overrun him much. We do not we play him in the most important matches that matters a lot against high calibrated teams as well. So it was quite expected, and that brings up the Saul situation where we can really use Saul to the full potential that he has. And Jorginho again, we have Jorginho playing every single match against Italy in this international break.
3 out of 3.
Yeah, 3 out of 3 full 90 minutes. So
and Kovacic as well, I think 3 out of 3.
Yeah, Kovacic as well. But the thing is, I believe that Saul might. We should not be surprised if Saul gets a start because
I'm predicting he'll start. I'm actually predicting he will start.
Yeah, and also knowing the fact that we've got the Zenit game, the first opening Champions League game, very soon, that brings up more chances of Saul starting rather than Jorginho. If not, I can definitely say Saul is featuring in this match by hook or by crook, either by starting 11 or by getting substituted in the second half, maybe in the 55th or by 60th minute, because we definitely are not burning out either of Jorginho or Kovacic. Kante might not be available for Zenit as well, if I'm not wrong. If he is, then it's fine. But if he's not, then we better have Jorginho and Kovacic play most part of that game against Zenit. But for the next match against Aston Villa, thankfully we signed Saul, and we really can rely on him if Kante is not available.
100%. Daniel, I know Kante is one of your favorite players. Last time we spoke, not in my channel, on your channel, you seemed like you were very, very connected about Kante, and rightly so. I think he's a phenomenal player, one of the best midfielders, if not the best midfielder in world football at the moment. World-class player, one of our world-class players in the team. I mean, how do you feel about this whole situation that I think this player needs to be managed moving forward, but also the fact that we brought in Saul, which is a great news, but are you also concerned about the future that we do need to start looking at a successor for Kante down the track? And I'm not saying sell Kante, no. But I'm saying we do need to have someone ready. You don't want to get into a situation where the injuries are piling on, and we're desperate to find someone. You do need to find a talent and be able to secure them ASAP, because talents are going to get snapped up very quick. So how do you feel about this whole situation?
Well, I think in N'Golo Kante's situation, it's nothing new. He's dealt with similar injuries throughout the course of his career. It's sort of ramped up. I don't know if you feel the same way, but over the past 2 years, it seems like these injuries are becoming or occurring at more of a frequent nature. But look, the quality that N'Golo Kante brings, I don't think any player in world football has that unique profile in terms of, incredible athleticism, a phenomenal, underrated sense of technical ability. That's something that I don't think people give him enough credit. He's really become the complete player in that sense. But I think it's very important now that we did bring in Saul and that we have extensive depth in that midfield environment, because yes, N'Golo Kante is not going to be able to play week in, week out over the course of the season. And taking into account that we not only have the Premier League, but the Champions League, League Cup, Club World Cup, and then, the FA Cup, so much football tournaments that we're playing. So
throw in the friendlies as well, the international friendlies in between.
Oh yeah, and an absolutely chaotic international schedule, which, not only players coming back injured, but quarantining issues, all sorts. But it's of the utmost importance that we have depth, particularly in that midfield, because injuries are likely to happen. So I think it's very important. But, N'Golo Kante, I love that man. He bleeds blue. So, yeah.
Nah, 100%, man. Look, it is what it is. I think us fans are starting to sort of, understand that Kante is not going to be featuring every single match. And we need to be okay with that. Whenever he's playing, hopefully he plays to his utmost best, which I'm sure he will. And down the track, we do need to start thinking about a long-term solution for someone like Kante. And that's for another episode where we can talk about who are some of the prime suspects. Obviously, we've covered as much as we could in the transfer season, transfer window time. But obviously, when that comes around again, we'll touch on that. I'm sure this topic will come around many more times. Anyway, Ishan, let's talk about the big money ticket situation. Christian Pulisic out for minimum 10 days, quoted by Thomas Tuchel. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 70 people live. We're going to keep a track of the likes on the stream, because we want to try and hit these targets together. You guys have been awesome. You guys are the Coin family, the Coin gang. You're here on a regular basis. Smash the like button. Get the likes up to well over 50. Let's try and get to 50. Literally only 20 likes away from getting to 50. So let's get that ASAP. You're going to love this preview that we're going to do today. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Check out the boys and their socials in the description right now, especially Daniel's YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. The link is there. Go and subscribe to Daniel's YouTube channel straight away. Do not hesitate. Ishan, Christian Pulisic. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, and oh my God, we got a lot of heat. We got heat. Now, let me clarify something to the 90 people that are live right now. Christian Pulisic is a phenomenal talent, magnificent player, no doubt. Yeah, he has some improvement that he can do, of course. We've talked about that. His dribbling sense, looking up, finding those key passes, getting more assists, getting more goals. Okay, we've touched on that. We're talking about his injury sense. I think we need to start completely understanding the fact that this player at the age of 22 is damn injury prone. Damn injury prone. Ishan, Thomas Tuchel has come out in the press conference that his minimum out for 10 days. It was ankle injury. He came back, returned with crutches. he's not going to play for 10 days minimum, which means Aston Villa, Zenit, Spurs, possibly even the next Champions League, because you can't expect him to just come straight back and start all of a sudden. He'll probably feature from the bench, probably train again, get his fitness back up again. Already he's missed 2 matches previously, and that's not his fault. That was because of the positive testing that he had due to the pandemic and whatnot. But Ishan, last season he did not play enough games. Season before that, there was injury issues as well. His whole career has had a plethora of injuries. Honestly, Ishan, I can't see how this player can see this season out by being injured most of the times, and then other players are basically going to eat up his position, which is fair for them, fine, because they are fighting for the same position, Kalamantan-Odoi, Ziyech and whatnot. I mean, how detrimental is this situation for Pulisic and his career?
Before I answer that, guys, I've just subscribed to Daniel's channel, and make sure you do it as well, because
I love this.
It's looking a very promising channel. So yeah, going on to your question, I think so, Miss, we've talked about this a whole show last time, and many people got offended without understanding the point that we're trying to make here, that nobody here is questioning about Pulisic's abilities, his attributes, and all the qualities that he brings to the team. The thing here is, the matter of concern here is injuries. Pulisic's injuries is his main enemy and nobody else around. You know, if it wasn't his injuries, he might have been our starting playing 11 player. You know, he could have been starting every single game, regardless of the manager. He could have been starting every single game. But it's the injuries which you know pulls him back big time. You know, it takes him back, you know, several miles away from the starting playing 11 teammates. And there is competition amongst the playing 11 people. You know, you have to challenge for your position. You just, in Chelsea Football Club, you're not going to get handed out the position. You're not going to get handed out the game time that you deserve. You need to make yourself deserve that game time, you know, and you need to work hard for that. And if you've got injuries, listen, nobody's blaming Pulisic for that. It's not in his hand. Getting injured is not in his hand. It's in nobody's hands. That is something unfortunate. It's an accident. It's an unfortunate event. Next, if it's happening, the thing is that we as a club, a Chelsea Football Club, cannot be waiting for Christian Pulisic to get fitter quickly, and then he might, you know, hop into the playing 11 straight away and then play. No, that's not what it happens. We've got lots of options, and this is exactly what we talked about in our last shows as well. It would be bad for Christian Pulisic and nobody else if he gets injured. You know, we've got many options. We might not miss Christian Pulisic by any means.
He'll be forgotten, bro. He'll be forgotten.
Vanished, absolutely vanished. There's the like of, you know, Hakim Ziyech, you know, who also he got a bit injured, and then, you know, he was gone. Look at the way he played the whole preseason. He was our best player in the preseason. A little bit of nag of injury, gone, out of sight. There's Mount and Havertz, you know, carrying the whole, you know, jargon. And then you've got Hudson-Odoi as well, who's waiting for his chance, and he's not kicked the ball in the Premier League. So we've got ample of options. The thing is, this injury would affect Pulisic and no one else. He'll be forgotten. He'll be vanished. So the thing is, nobody's complaining about his attributes, about his skills. Everything is fine. But the thing is, you have to improve day by day, and you have to show up. The output has to be there, or else, you know, question will be asked. You know, we know the fact that he can be a very, very detrimental player for us, very, very effective player in the attacking front. Regardless of the fact that, you know, he's having injuries, he's so good that he can actually come back, bounce back, and actually come in the playing 11 and make his mark. But the thing is, if he has continuous injuries, it's not good for him, because, you know, the more opportunities that he misses to play, the more his value goes down in the team. He'll be forgotten. And just like you said, perfectly said, that once he gets fit, it's not that he jumps into the playing 11 straight away. That's not happening. You need to prove that slow and steadily. Maybe you'll get initially.
This is the difference between him and Kante. When Kante is completely fit, he comes into the team straight away.
Exactly.
Whereas Pulisic is got to fight to get back into the team.
And it's difficult to displace, miss. It's not that, we might be in a dilemma that, no, my Pulisic might come in. No, it's absolutely difficult because Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Ziyech, when these guys perform, it's very, very difficult to, bench these guys. You cannot say with an open chest that you're going to rest Mason Mount the next game. No, absolutely not. The attributes that Mason Mount brings to the table, it's very difficult to displace him. And similarly goes with Kai Havertz, similarly goes with Ziyech with the form he is in. It's difficult to, just replace this guy so easily with Christian Pulisic. So it's difficult for Pulisic and nobody else. So he needs to work on his fitness. He needs to work on his physical abilities, stay fit, stay strong, keep the consistency going. He had the beautiful first goal against Crystal Palace in the opening match. He could have carried that momentum. No.
And remember we were saying, Ishan, in the watch-along, hopefully this is the start. Like, it could become something special for him, but...
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. So we all can hope that, the thing is that Thomas Tuchel said Christian Pulisic arrived in Cobham with crutches, and that made me a little bit scared because when it's crutches, you know that it's more than serious. And when he says 10 days, I think so we should easily consider that 2 weeks easily, because he's not getting 100% match fit until 2 weeks. Then maybe slowly and steadily he gets some game time if it's possible in the Carabao Cups maybe, and then he might be considered in the playing 11.
Yeah, no, for sure. Daniel, are you concerned with the injury situation with Pulisic? As Ishan's saying, and I don't think he's wrong, it is 10 days said by Thomas Tuchel, but I have to agree with Ishan. It'll probably be about 2 weeks until he sort of starts getting back into, unless he somehow shows miraculous determination, his body starts healing like, some superhero style situation. I mean, Daniel, I just want to ask you, obviously that particular thing, I want to get your thoughts on it, but also what do you think he could possibly do? Because as a 22-year-old, like, we've seen many players, Daniel, that have not reached their potential, great talents, just not been able to reach their potential because the injuries have killed their life left, right, and center. I mean, what do you think someone like Pulisic could do? Because we thought about this on Matisse's channel the other day. We were saying that Eden Hazard was another similar player who came out, not massively built when he came from the French league into the Premier League. But after the first season he had with Chelsea, he really worked on his lower half of his body, as we all laugh about his big bum that he has and the calves. Yeah. But you know what? We laugh about it, but he uses that to shield himself. And the amount of bumps and bruises he takes, luckily enough, he didn't get that injured with us. I know at Real Madrid now he has, the injuries have caught up. But do you feel something physically needs to change for Pulisic to get out of this injury situation?
It's very difficult for Christian Pulisic because I think the best form he's shown in a Chelsea shirt is when he's been, consistently playing, consistently building on his form. I remember that lockdown period when the first lockdown period when the Premier League came back and Christian Pulisic was playing week in, week out, and the impact it had not only on his performances, but in terms of his scoring statistics, absolutely huge. But since then, due to injuries, just being in and out of the team, he hasn't been able to keep that same consistency. And, you look at this Chelsea team now, and we've spoken about this before, Miz. And like you mentioned, Ishan, there's so much depth within this squad now. I'd probably say he's maybe 5th or 6th in the pecking order in terms of that.
He'd probably be 5th and then Callum below, but now Callum bumps up because he's available.
Right. So, even on a good day, even at 100% full fitness, he's not guaranteed to start. In fact, he probably wouldn't be starting when you look at the likes of Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, and Romelu Lukaku in front. So it's already a huge ask for him to get into this team. There's absolutely no doubt he has the qualities to be at a top club like Chelsea. It's just an unfortunate set of circumstances in the fact that, yes, he's consistently dealing with niggling injuries, and the competition is just so fierce within this Chelsea squad. And I think another aspect to it is, I don't know if he fits the profile of an ideal Tuchel attacking midfielder. With Mason Mount, and Ishan mentioned it, if Mason Mount's not scoring goals, that's not a huge issue because of the defensive work rate that he brings to this team. And, with Kai Havertz, another one, similar type of profile, very physically imposing, covers a lot of ground. So it's difficult. It's very difficult for Christian, but I still like to think he's more than good enough to play in this Chelsea team.
Yeah, man. Look, there is no doubt he's good enough to play for the Chelsea team. It's just, as someone has mentioned, and it's been floating around, availability is one of the biggest capabilities. And then this is the thing. If you're not available, well, it's so difficult. But I hope he gets through this injury situation. I hope he can come out. Look, RD, I'm more than happy for you to be out, man. I'm not really sure what is triggering you and what we've said has triggered you. I've got no idea why you are so upset, but I'm more than happy for you to step out. If it's too much for you, this channel, please go to another channel and enjoy your time there. But yeah, I honestly hope that Christian Pulisic can get off this particular injury, and hopefully this is the last time and he can get a prolonged line, because we've seen what damage this particular player can do. Honestly, we've seen what he can do. And that particular player, I've said it, that particular player, if we can get that on a consistent basis, can win us the Premier League. That particular player can win us the Premier League. But if that particular player never comes up, never materializes, it's a dream for us, well, I'm not here to dream. I'm here for the reality. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to dream. So that's a bit about Christian Pulisic. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know what your thoughts are. I mean, if Pulisic continues with this particular form of constant injuries, what is your solution for it for next season? Do you still persevere? Do you still keep him? Let me know in the comments. Ishan, let's now talk about a few other topics in the press conference before we start looking at the Aston Villa thing. Ladies and gentlemen, 190 live. It is so good to be back with the Premier League conversation. The boys are loving it. I'm loving it. The international break absolutely stunk out the place, but nearly 190 of you guys. Smash the like button. We're 2 away from 50, but let's push to 100 likes straight away. As I said, this is going to be a stellar preview. We've got lots of things to talk about. Check out the boys and their socials in the description. Ishan with his Instagram. Please follow him. Lovely person to follow in Instagram. That's where he's mostly available. And Daniel as well, very much available in Instagram. The link is there. And please subscribe to Daniel's YouTube channel. You're going to get excellent content. I'm telling you, I was blown off by it. And I'm glad that he's part of this particular channel as well now. So please go out there and follow, subscribe to that channel as well. Ishan, I don't know what's going on with Thiago Silva situation. I didn't know what the whole hoo-ha was all about. Only recently I started to read up on some of the news that Brazil has apparently complained and FIFA has now imposed a ban on all Brazilian players that refuse to travel to Brazil for the international matches. But at the same time, they've got COVID rules and I'm baffled. I'm not sure what I'm even saying. Like, I don't even know where this story is going, to be honest. All I know, FIFA is trying to put a suspension on Silva. Do you know what is going on here? Because it looked like even Thomas Tuchel didn't know what was going on.
No, even Thomas Tuchel doesn't know what just happened. Even he was absolutely in a question mark. And it's very weird and very, very funny, also frustrating at the same time. So here's what happened. There was a match between Brazil and Argentina, right? And there had to be, the players, they had to stay.
Bro, that was incredible, bro. What happened in the Brazil and Argentina? Wow.
Yeah, they had to stay in isolation, and out of nowhere, there are the medical staff from the opponent team jumping out and saying, these guys did not have the isolation period on. So, after 10 minutes of the match, you came to remember that they needed to be in isolation. I mean, that does not make any sort of sense because you've already played 10 minutes. Do this before the game, right?
Oh, that's funny, bro.
after the 10 minutes, you're coming out on the pitch, invading, sabotaging the match, and you're saying that these guys needed to be in isolation. Absolutely nonsense situation, yeah. And then there were teams and there were players who refused apparently to play in the international duties, to go into the international duties. So the respective board members of the national football club, they said to ban those players. They requested FIFA to ban those players for 1 or 2 week or so, from the other games as well. So FIFA did do that. So apparently players from Brazil and Argentina's 4 or 5 players or so, they're isolated as well, so they won't be available. So this week there are many players. Not just, maybe we should be talking about Thiago Silva because he's the only concern for us, but apart from Thiago Silva, there are many players who are involved in this whole turmoil where everybody is in a question mark. Nobody knows what the hell just happened, but everybody's getting a ban out of nowhere and they're not available for the next game week. So there are many players, Argentine players and Brazilian players as well. So talking about Thiago Silva, yes, Thomas Tuchel said that, yes, as of now, he cannot say anything about that because the chairman, Chelsea's chairman, apparently he's in talks with FIFA and then the board members from Brazilian national team as well. So Thiago Silva's availability will be soon be disclosed. But as of now, as it stands, FIFA has banned many Brazilian players, and Thiago Silva is one of them. So apparently, as the status stands, he might not be available for the next game, but like Thomas Tuchel said, Chelsea chairman is in talks with the.
By the way, what about the Liverpool ones like Firmino?
Yeah, there are
and
Alisson unavailable, Edison unavailable, and you've got Fabinho, Firmino. They're all unavailable, and there are many players from Tottenham Hotspurs. Maybe Gabriel Jesus. Lucas Moura, Gabriel Jesus, if I'm not wrong, and then we've got Lo Celso unavailable, Romero not available, Sanchez not available. So many players like that, and I'm counting this just for
Rafinha, I believe.
Rafinha. Oh my days, he was in my FPL, and I'm gonna get lost from
FPL as well.
So yeah, there are many players, and it's unfortunate. What can I say? Just like Thomas Tuchel said, there's no positivity in this. I mean, there's zero outcomes from that. It doesn't make any sense. You've already played 10 minutes of your game and you're coming out and banning left, right, and center. It does not make any sort of sense.
Unbelievable. I mean, Daniel, what have you heard about this? I mean, this seems bizarre to me, this whole situation.
Mate, it is. I mean, nothing's too crazy for me at this point. The world has officially gone mad, but look, it's absolutely bizarre. I think from a Chelsea perspective, obviously a big loss losing Thiago Silva. Not that he was guaranteed to start, but I think we can be fortunate or be grateful in the fact that we don't have too many South American players in our squad. Obviously, the likes of Liverpool, Tottenham, Manchester City, greatly affected. Aston Villa as well. So Emiliano Buendia, he won't be playing. Who's their star, one of their star signings. So
Martinez as well. Martinez, their goalkeeper.
Yes, of course. They're amazing goalkeeper. So I guess in our sense, it's probably a good thing because you'd assume Christensen would have probably started. So we don't really have too much of a loss in that sense. But look, I thought it was interesting when Thomas Tuchel came out and he said, this isn't a sustainable situation in regards to the South American players.
Yeah.
In terms of like the red line countries. I'm no expert in this department, but surely they have to come up with a solution, potentially having a neutral venue or somewhere that that doesn't require a long-term quarantine.
Because in 4 weeks' time, we're going to face this music again.
Exactly. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's next. I think no one really knows at this point, but no doubt the English FA have a huge task ahead in terms of sorting out the logistics so that we don't have a repeat of the absolute mess of a situation.
Madness that's happening. You're absolutely right, because it seems like in UK they've got some sort of red alert situation with South America, and rightly so, because the pandemic situation over there is quite mad at the moment, and they've got their own restrictions over there that when you do arrive, you've got to isolate, so on and so forth. It's just not logistically not possible. So something needs to happen. Okay. Let's focus a little bit about Aston Villa and where their situation's at before we turn our attention to Chelsea and the predicted lineup, ladies and gentlemen. We are 200 plus live right now. Smash the like button, 25 away from 100 likes. Let's get there straight away, ladies and gentlemen. If you're here for the first time as well, subscribe, please. Let's try and get to, I'm literally about 5 away from 7.5K. So let's subscribe and let's try and get to that 8,000 milestone as soon as possible, guys. You guys have been so fantastic with the support. So let's try and do that. Let's bring this up first off. So Daniel, let's go with you this time. Aston Villa have had a very strange start to the season. They've bought really well. I mean, they've lost Jack Grealish. We all know, superstar transfer situation that happened in the last transfer window, the summer window. But it looked like they kind of expected that. That's why they had that 100 million buyout, what do you call it? Sellout clause or something like that. Exit clause. Exit clause that they had for Grealish, because Grealish had spoken to the hierarchies of Aston Villa that if a Champions League club comes in, then you will need to sell me. I'm interested to leave and play for a Champions League club. And Aston Villa imposed a £100 million exit clause that, fine, you can go, but that club has to pay 100 million to us as compensation. That club was Man City. They got the 100 million and they bowled out. They bought Buendia. What's his first name? Is it Emiliano Buendia? Yeah, Emiliano Buendia. Then they bought Leon Bailey. They bought Danny Ings. They even got back their old schoolmate Ashley Young. And I think a few other players as well. But it did not start off that well for them. They lost against Watford on the first match day, which was a bit of a surprise, 3-2. Then they're at home. They came back, bounced back, 2-0. Carabao Cup, they beat Borough. I don't even know who that team is, 6-0. But then they had another somewhat of a surprising draw at home against Brentford. Let's just quickly look at that Brentford game, because I believe I didn't see Tyrone Mings in that particular game either. But looking at their lineup, Martinez, that's going to be a huge miss. I feel like Martinez is one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League, if not probably even 100%. In the world at the moment. That's a huge miss for them because of the whole chaos that has happened between Brazil and Argentina. Bit of a mess, and now he's locked down somewhere, apparently in quarantine for about 10 days. So he's going to miss that. Matty Cash is a very good player. Konza is definitely a good defender. Tuanzebe, I think they've got that particular player from Man United on loan. Taggart is very good. So I'm not really sure what's going on with Tyrone Mings. I'll try and have a look. There's some news over here from Absolute Chelsea, who had some Aston Villa news as well. But there wasn't anything specific on Tyrone Mings. Yeah, Leon Bailey is back. Ollie Watkins is back. Then we've got Bertrand Traore, who's back as well. John McGinn, who's training. So just looking at this particular lineup, Buendia is not going to be featuring, of course. Ashley Young, El Ghazi, Danny Ings. I feel like they're still strong and they've done very good over the summer transfer, but the miss of Buendia and Martinez, that's surely going to hurt a little bit. I mean, what's your thoughts on Aston Villa? You like this team?
I do, actually. I made a video recently on them, and I was basically stating that this
People go check out that video straight away.
Shamelessly plugging myself, but no, I was talking about how this Aston Villa team, despite losing Jack Grealish, has been very strategic in their approach to the transfer market. Brought in, well-renowned players across Europe, and really one of the more exciting teams, kind of trying to push into that top 10, top 8 category, but. I don't think they're going to be, obviously, they're not going to be at full strength on the weekend. So that's going to be difficult for them. They've always got a perennial goal scoring threat in Danny Ings. Leon Bailey, a player who is very exciting, has that top quality. He can play at the highest level, in my opinion. So I think Aston Villa have a lot of threats, but I think they haven't really clicked yet as a team. And, you know, I'd anticipate that we'd have to be heavy favourites heading into this match for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, our form against them last season, as I recall, obviously we had that horrendous loss in the last day where thank you, Spurs, for winning and giving us that 4th spot, because Aston Villa absolutely had us under the ropes. And the game before that in January during Frank Lampard period, we got away with a 1-1 draw. They were coming back heavily after us taking the lead. They were coming back very strong. I mean, Ishan, talk to me about their transfer business from your perspective, how well they've done. Some decent players, Leon Bailey, Buendia, Danny Ings, you know, a few other players that they've got. But overall, do you rate this Aston Villa team, or do you think this particular week without Buendia and Martinez and us being at home, we should probably have a bit too much for them, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, they did really, really well in the transfer season. You know, Aston Villa as the team, I thought they actually did very, very well in this transfer market. Yes, everybody would see the fact that the outing of Jack Grealish might weaken the squad, but I think so. They've got it covered. They've got it covered with some good signings. They've actually filled up the gaps they needed to fill. They actually now are looking as a proper balanced squad. You know, they've got players. They've got the mix of experience and young guns as well. So it's a blend of experience and youngsters in one team, and this team looks very well balanced. You know, they've definitely got Buendia who's looking good. He's got the goal against the last game. The only goal that he got, and but he won't be available. You know, Buendia and also Martinez might not be available. Martinez is, like you said, one of the best keepers in Premier League for sure. They've got Danny Ings as well, and I think so. He's one of the guys.
Brent Smith just said Danny Ings is someone who loves scoring against us, man. So
yeah, and he's someone who, you know, who can single-handedly take the game away from you, and you won't even notice that, because, you know, sometimes he just comes out of nowhere and scores some very, very good goals. You know, also they've got the likes of you know, Bertrand Traore, who's apparently a Cobham boy. So he might. I'm not sure of his availability, but I think so. He should be okay for this game to go. But if he does, he's a very good prospect for them as well. Also, they've got Leon Bailey. They've bought this, you know, shining star. He's going to be very, very good. And also, you know, Ashley Young, like I said, you know, they've got a blend of youngsters and experienced players as well. So Ashley Young is one of them, you know, who'll be like a commander.
Ashley Young's another one. That dirty player loves playing against us, man. Loves playing against Chelsea. 100%.
They've also, you know, we should not forget, there is, you know, apart from Danny Ings, there's Ole Watkins as well, who's had a very, very decent season, you know, last year, and this year again, once he returns from this injury, I think so he's going to be good as well. Also, learning from Danny Ings, an experienced Premier League striker, is going to be very, very good for him as well. Also, they've got Douglas Luiz, who looks very, very promising. Yes, they've got the defense looks very good with the likes of, you know, Tyrone Mings and Konsa and Cash and Target. These guys are good and very, very reliable. They show a good chemistry amongst themselves, and they're looking very, very promising as well. So yeah, Tuanzebe also a very huge prospect in the defense, in the center half. He looks very, very good. And if this guy gels up with Tyrone Mings, I think so it'll be a very, very difficult task for the opposition to break the defense. But as of now, I believe that means after John Terry departed as the defensive coach, they feel a little bit vulnerable in the defense. They've leaked some gaps. And the couple of matches that I've seen from Aston Villa, I've seen them open up gaps and allowing the opposition to, you know, capitalize on those gaps as well. And also knowing the fact that they don't have the likes of Martinez in the keeper as a keeper, it is going to be difficult for them in this match. If they don't tighten up their center halves and the whole defensive line, it's going to be difficult for them to, you know, maintain a clean sheet. In fact, they could go for multiple goals in the matter of minutes, because Martinez is someone who has immense number of saves.
Huge player, huge goalkeeper. Huge.
If you'd see the stats in the last season, definitely Ederson got the Golden Gloves because of the number of clean sheets. But if you see the number of saves, it is Martinez who's in the number one position because his saves are mad. It's absolutely crazy. He can make the oppositions not win a game, absolutely take the game away with his saves. And that's how huge he was. But now, knowing the fact that he's not in the game tomorrow, I think so we should very well capitalize on that. And also that defense looking a little bit that vulnerable to me, I think so we should be comfortable with this.
No, for sure. Live chat, let us know what is the go with Mings, because I can't see any news on him and he didn't feature against Brentford. So I'm not really sure what the situation is. So if you guys know something in the live chat, do put that up. I think if Mings is available with Konza and Mings, that partnership was very good. But I think Ishan has put a very good comment that without John Terry's presence being there, I think they've slightly lost a little bit of touch in that defensive sense. But looking at Aston Villa's Twitter page, official Twitter page, this is what Dean Smith had to say. We should be welcoming Ollie Watkins back. We also got Leon Bailey back to full fitness now. So possibly, those two could feature, whether it's off the bench or not. Bertrand Traore has trained the last couple of days as well. John McGinn, I really rate John McGinn as a midfielder, man. He's a very strong midfielder, very, very workaholic type of a midfielder. And Jacob Ramsey have recovered from the word that I can't say on YouTube, situation 2. Smith on Emi Martinez and Emi Buendia, they're back in green zone country and working hard. So obviously they're gone. They won't be starting. And he goes on to say, Smith, in regards to Chelsea, they're a fantastic team with fantastic coach. It's going to be a very tough game. Look, I mean, I feel like without Martinez, without Buendia, one of the playmakers, especially Martinez is a big, big miss for them. But Buendia, I suppose they could probably bring in someone like Leon Bailey or Bertrand Traore. Ashley Young could do the playmaking as well. He's done it previously. But yeah, in defense, I feel like they could have a bit of an issue. But I'm confident. I'm respectful of that team. What they've done in the transfer market, they've spent very wisely with Grealish's money. But at the same time, I feel like we should have enough firepower to get through in this particular game. All right, let's get straight into now our lineup. This is where we're going to have a lot of hot topics to talk about. Who starts, who doesn't, and whatnot. Who misses out? There's going to be very, very interesting comments to talk, particular matters to talk about. But before we do that, 240 live. We are literally only 10 likes away from 100 likes. Let's get those 10 likes straight away. Let's get the 100 and then let's aim for 150 likes straight away. Subscribe if you're here for the first time. We've got some epic content coming up, which I will announce right at the end. So do stick around for that big day tomorrow with the match day. And my panels, go out there and follow them in all social media. Instagram, all of their links are there, but Daniel has his YouTube channel. Go and please subscribe to Daniel's YouTube channel. At least give him 50 to 100 subscribers. We've got 250 almost live. So let's do that. Okay. I'm going to do the back four with the goalkeeper. So the 3 and the goalkeeper. And then I'll go to you guys to figure out what choice you guys want to give me. And live chat, get in on this act as well, because I want to bring up some of your comments as well. Okay. Mendy for me undoubtedly starts. There's no doubt about that. I'm sure Kepa will get his games here and there, but Mendy starts. Rudiger is another one. I know Rudy's played 3 games for Germany, but at the moment I can't see any proper replacement. I know some can say Chalobah could play LCB, but this is one game I'd probably still stick with Rudy, and probably Chalobah will play as a RCB. We do need to remember Reece James is suspended. He got that red card, direct red card against Liverpool. So apparently that's 3 matches. I don't know. There's someone was telling me the other day that it could be 1. They're trying to contest and whatnot. But I think at the moment it is 3. So he's not available. Silva, question mark. Don't know what's going on. But Thomas Tuchel said for the time being he's not in. So for me, it has to be Andres Christensen, who's had a very strong international break as well. Clean sheets for Denmark. And he's been phenomenal for Chelsea too. So he starts. This one, Do you want Azpilicueta, who's played 3 matches for Chelsea, for Spain in the international break as well? He's probably a player that is capable of playing week in, week out. His engine is unbelievable. I hope it stays like that. But I would give Chalobah a go here. He's more than capable of doing this, and he's absolutely fresh. He didn't have any international break. He was at Cobham. He was, training with the team. And for me, he's fresh to go. So that would be my back four, including the goalkeeper. I'll go to you, Daniel, first up. Do you change that? Do you keep that? How do you feel about this? You're on mute, Daniel.
Sorry, guys. Look, I can't complain with that. I mean, I believe that was the starting lineup we had for our opening match. Was it against Palace?
Yeah.
We had Chalobah on the right.
Yeah. And against, I believe, Villarreal? Or no, maybe that was Zuma. Maybe Zuma played in the middle.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, maybe.
But regardless, look, it's a back three that I wouldn't have any issues with. The only, I think, point of question that we simply don't know at this stage is, is he going to give Chalobah the start, or is he going to play Aspi in that right centre back role and give Hudson-Odoi his chance at right wing back?
That's the tricky one. That's the one.
That's the one that I'm really intrigued about. And yeah, I mean, it's.
What would you go with, Daniel? What would you go with?
Look, if I want to see Hudson-Odoi play because I think he has that attacking creativity that Aspi can't really bring as a right wing back. I mean, Aspi's going to put in a shift. He's going to give you a 7 out of 10 regardless.
Yeah.
But in terms of that spark that he has at home in front of, at Stamford Bridge, I'd love to see it.
And Callum didn't go on an international break either, so he's fresh.
Exactly. Fully fit. Yeah. I mean, this is the time. Reece James is suspended. If he didn't send him out on loan to Dortmund, then he should be playing him in this match. But, Thomas Tuchel has his ways. And if that's the case and Chalobah starting instead, it's still another academy talent that's playing in the first team. So, yeah.
I want to come back to you about the wing backs because I want you to lock that first and then go to Ishan. But I want to touch on this one first up from Dixon Mafoti. Is Zuma still available? My man Zuma's in West Ham, if you didn't know. Newsflash, Zuma has been transferred to West Ham. And it's
Good morning to that guy who was sleeping all along.
Dixon has had a nice sleep during the transfer window, which is fair enough. He's waking up to all the news now. Daniel, so would you lock in Callum here?
Because it's a home game, I give Callum the start. We want goals.
All right. Hold that thought. Ishan, now I want to ask you. Back three, goalkeeper, Callum. Where's your mindset?
Man, this guy Daniel hits nail on the head, man. Absolute headshot, this guy. But just like he said, that's the only dilemma here. But again, Miz, my point here is I can't see Thomas Tuchel going in a match without Azpilicueta. I just can't at this point of time.
Yeah.
The only dilemma here is either you need to choose Hudson-Odoi or either you need to choose Chalobah. That's for sure. And I don't think so. These two youngsters would be starting at the same time. I would love to. If it was my lineup, I would love to. But if I'm making a prediction here, I have to think what Thomas Tuchel might do, right? And for me, I don't think so Thomas Tuchel would do this. Having Hudson-Odoi and Chalobah, he might have a Hudson-Odoi and Aspi at the right centre back, and then Hudson-Odoi, or maybe Chalobah and then Aspi at the right wing back. So for me, Aspi has to be there. Also knowing the fact that there is no Thiago Silva. So definitely Aspi brings that. That leadership, that captaincy.
Point, bro.
Yeah. So for me, I think so. I would love to, regardless. If it was my lineup, I would have said Hudson-Odoi and Chalobah. Start them, just give them the game time. But if I have to make a prediction, I definitely see Aspi in it. But yeah, rest, it looks good.
Where would you play Aspi, in RCB or a right wing back?
Yeah, I think so. Thomas Tuchel would play Chalobah and Aspi at the right wing back because I'm not sure if Aspi plays in the right centre back and Hudson-Odoi plays in the right wing back, that's also fine, and that should be expected because he might do that. Actually, Thomas Tuchel might do that, but as of now, I feel that Thomas Tuchel does not want to make our defensive line a little bit more vulnerable. Aspi definitely brings in that defensive strengthening in the as a wing back player. So for me, I think so it has to be Chalobah and Aspi.
I loved how you said that Thomas Tuchel will not go into a match without Aspi, and it is so true. It is so true, especially no Silva. That's a very big point, Ishan, that he will not have Chalobah and Callum, two youngsters on the right side, against a team like Aston Villa who needs to be respected. You can't disrespect them. You have to respect them. So whether Aspi starts in RCB or a right wing back, he's going to feature one way or another. And that's why I've got our initial choices, Chalobah as RCB and Azpilicueta as a right wing back. And if not, it may be Aspi as RCB and Callum as the right wing back. We'll see what happens. And this is the thing, if Callum's not getting these sort of games, I know Zenit's coming up next. Maybe he could get a game there, but it will be very interesting to see where he gets those games. Few of the live chat, I can already see that you guys don't want to see Cho as a right wing back, but he's not going to be playing up front either. That's the crazy part. You do need to start thinking where he's actually going to get those minutes. Okay, I'm going to go with this one first up, and then I want to see what you guys have to say. The live chat's already in a debate for this one before we even got to it. I'm going with Mr. Chilwell. I know Marcus Alonso has been in phenomenal form. No disrespect. I love the man. I've been doing props on him in social media. But I have to say, sooner or later, we need to see this brother play. Chilwell needs to start playing. We've got some big games coming up. He needs to get game time. And Alonso probably will feature against Zenit. Who knows? But for me, Chilwell needs to start playing. And here's another one who didn't go to the international break, so he should be fresh. It's Chilwell for me, and then maybe Alonso for Zenit. Live chat, let me know what your thoughts are, but I'll go to Ishan first up on this one. I know we can't drop Alonso, and possibly you're going to say the same thing, that Thomas Tuchel will fancy Alonso. But are we going to see Chilwell start ever again for Chelsea?
That's a good dilemma, I think so, and it's healthy for the team. It's good for the team because when you've got two wing backs playing at their best, also we need Chilwell to start. Like you said, the last game he played was the Champions League final, and after that, no games whatsoever for Chilwell. And Marcus Alonso have been playing really well. You know that. Even me personally, I prefer Chilwell, but I don't
Ishan,
think Chilwell
just quickly hold that thought.
Yeah.
Elias Saul is not playing left wing back, man. Saul is definitely. I know he has done that for Atletico Madrid, but one of the reasons why he's moved to Chelsea, and there's been an interview that's happened recently, and there's proper quotes. Thomas Tuchel called up Saul to join Chelsea. And Saul said, where am I going to play? Thomas Tuchel said, you're 100% playing only in midfield. Because this was one of the biggest reasons why Saul left Atletico Madrid. Because playing in many different positions that he didn't want to play. He can do a job, but he does not want to do that. So if we're going to start putting Saul as left wing back, mate, Saul's going to pick up the phone to his agent, start the negotiation. I'm going somewhere else. So
get me out of here.
Yeah, Saul to left wing back is not even an option. Yeah, Ishan.
Yeah. I think so. Like you said, you made a brilliant point that Chilwell has to have his wheels running, and I believe that still the way Marcus Alonso have been performing the first 3 games, he's been phenomenal. And again, I would repeat myself by saying that it'd be harsh on him to rest him without any reason. If that guy is performing so well and you're resting him just for the sake of giving Chilwell a chance, that would be harsh on him. Maybe I would bring Chilwell in the second half, or maybe I would start Chilwell in the Carabao Cup game, but maybe not against in the Premier League at home. Marcus Alonso definitely should get his chance.
Wow. What about against Zenit then? Does Chilwell play against Zenit in the Champions League?
Maybe because I feel that Zenit might be an easier opponent rather than Aston Villa. I feel that because Premier League is definitely something, and also against Aston Villa would be tougher than what Chelsea is going to face against Zenit. So for me, Chilwell against Zenit is a good option. It's a good game for him to start as well. But
yeah, I actually don't mind that. I don't mind that. But
so if I have to predict miss, I feel that Alonso would start and we might see Chilwell in the second half.
Daniel, I'll go to you because Ishan's gone with Alonso. I've gone with Chilwell. I want to hear what you have to say, and I want to hear what the live chat has to say as well. Then we can come up to a middle ground. What's your thoughts, Chilwell or Alonso?
This is a really tricky one because, neither have played over the course of the international break. So they're both fresh in that sense. But, Chilwell, we can't keep him on the bench forever, right? This is a player, like, heading into the season, I would have assumed that Chilwell was the first choice, on any given day. If you have two fresh left wing backs, Chilwell starts. But it's been difficult. Marcos Alonso has been phenomenal. He scored the opening goal of the season. He hasn't put a foot wrong all season. So regardless of the decision, I'm sitting on the fence here, lads. I'm happy with either or. The only thing I hope is that if Alonso does start this match, that Chilwell has to start the Champions League. No,
and vice versa as well, right? Yeah,
exactly, because both of these players deserve to be playing, and I think that's where Thomas Tuchel really needs to show his managerial man management expertise in terms of making sure that both players are given adequate game time, because it's a tricky one. They're both so good. But if I had to pick one,
say Chilonso. Daniel, say Chilonso.
Chilonzo. How about that?
Yeah. Look, I think I like the point where you said, Daniel, that whoever starts is the other one that's starting in the next match.
Yeah.
That is the probable situation. But then we've got Spurs the game after. What happens then? We all know Alonso loves playing against Spurs. He's got history against them. He's banged in goals, some famous goals as well. Man. Live chat, we need you. We need you here.
Yeah.
I want to see you guys. I can see Prashant, Alonso, Chibundo, Chilwell, Rishab, Alonso. Guys, absolutely tell us who you're going with, Alonso or Chilwell for this particular match, and then obviously whoever will be for the next one. Adit is saying Alonso. Brent is saying Chilonzo. That's a new thing now, Chilonzo. Tom is saying Alonso. Man, there's a lot of Alonso, man. A lot of Alonso here. The Beautiful Game is saying Alonso. Chilwell hasn't played for anyone this season. What else you guys got? Chilwell from Declan in Ireland. Alonso, Chilwell. Football style, Chilwell. Man, this is tough. It looks like it's still evens in the live chat, 260 plus, and it's still even. This is what's going on at the moment with this whole situation. Do you know what? Look, we're just gonna we're unsure. We're unsure, and we're just gonna go with both of them.
Maybe it's the first time it's happening.
This is the first time it's happening, ladies and gentlemen, where we couldn't decide. At the end of the day,
three people.
All the guys in the live chat saying Chile. I'll be in the watch along, mind you. And if Alonso gets selected, I'm coming for you all.
Well, you should just say Alonso as well. Few are saying Chilwell. There's a lot that are saying Chilwell. Kaego is now saying Alonso as well. Alonso has been great, but Chilwell should inevitably get his chance. Okay, Alonso for this, Chile for UCL from Prashant. Okay, you know what? There's a lot of Chilwell that's coming through. There's a lot of Chilwell. So we'll go with Chilwell, and perhaps we can keep Alonso as just behind the scenes, just in case. But yeah, if Chilwell starts this one, most likely Alonso is probably going to start against Zenit. Okay, let's go with the midfield. Once again, I'll go with my preferred, and then we'll go with Ishan and then Daniel. And the live chat as well, let me know what your midfield is. I feel like this player will need to play. I feel like Saul needs to start here. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, he's just joined." But he's played for Atletico Madrid. It's not like he hasn't played. He's played for Atletico Madrid this season. I think 2 games he started as well, maybe 1 off the bench. He's been training for a week under Thomas Tuchel as well, so he should be fit and fresh to go. He's determined. Kante is not available, ladies and gentlemen. Kante is injured for this game. He's looking to come back for the next one. Kovacic and Jorginho have played 3 out of 3 games in the international break. But I feel like we don't really have a Jorginho replacement. So I'm going to go with Jorginho and Saul. Because Kova and Saul, to me, is just same to same. And then maybe Jorginho gets substituted off or Saul gets substituted off and Kovacic comes on. But that's the midfield I'm going for at the moment. Ishan, I'll go to you. What's your thoughts?
For me, I agree on this, Saul and Jorginho, but I don't know why I'm getting a feeling that it might be Kovacic and Jorginho and Saul might come in the second half. I'm just feeling that. I don't have any reasons or I don't have any statement to support my argument here. But then the thing is that I'm just getting a feeling that Saul will definitely feature. I know that, but it might be in the second half. But he can start as well. Here I'm contradicting myself. But the thing is, it's so tricky.
I think you're going for basically the combination that is more familiar, combination. So Jorginho and Kovacic.
Yeah, these guys have been playing now for some time, and they've been very gelled up very well, amongst themselves, and they know how things run in the midfield. Kovacic and Jorginho, and putting up Saul and starting him out of a sudden.
Is Ishan gone? We've lost Ishan. But yeah, Daniel, what's your thoughts, man, in the midfield? Jorginho, Saul?
This is, again, another really tricky one because I guess another factor to take in is that Jorginho and Kovacic have both played in all 3 fixtures over the international break. So, they themselves might be a little jet lagged or a bit jaded in that sense. But I'd probably agree. I think Thomas Tuchel, considering, there's already a lot of uncertainties heading into this fixture, he probably won't want to, bring someone straight into the team. But, like I said, I could easily see Saul starting. But if I was a betting man, I reckon he's going to, play Jorginho and Kovacic, and after 60 minutes, bring in Saul in that second half. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Looks like few of the live chat are also going with Kovacic and Jorginho as well. Some are saying Saul. I do like Ishan in turmoil. Looks like he's probably lost his connection. He's back now. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. He's back.
Lost connection.
Nah, that's fine, man. It happens. I mean, Ishan, Daniel's gone with Jorginho and Kovacic with the same reasons that you had, more that familiar understanding, communication. But he's also in the same sort of position that he won't be surprised if Saul starts. I'll let you finish off, Ishan, on this one. I mean, I've got Saul in the background, but I can see the live chat as well saying Jorginho and Kovacic. There are some people are saying Saul as well. I mean, it does make sense that Jorginho and Kovacic is that familiar background, and then maybe at 60th minute, Saul can come on. I mean, should we be surprised if Saul starts though? Because I feel like it's that same situation with Lukaku when we expected he wouldn't start and he started.
Yeah, it's a big question mark, to be very honest, because just like Lukaku, Saul is also a very experienced player, and he's been up and running in Atletico Madrid. He's been training really well, and it's been some time since he's been training in Cobham as well. So we shouldn't be surprised. And just for the reason that you said that both of Kovacic and Jorginho have played a complete 90 minutes for 3 games straight for the respective national teams, and we might see the likes of maybe a Jorginho or maybe a Kovacic getting benched and Saul chipping in right from minute 1, and we might see Kante and Jorginho maybe starting, or maybe Kovacic and Jorginho starting.
Kante's injured.
Oh yeah, so Kovacic and Jorginho starting full-fledged for the Zenit game. So we might as well see Saul start, but the thing is that it does not. It does not feel a little bit more satisfying to put Saul straight away in the double pivot position where you actually need to find the tempo of the game, be more fluidic, understand the whole temperament of the team,
What
build
about
that
Zenit
chemistry.
then? What about against Zenit?
Zenit, you might. I mean, it's a possibility that Jorginho or Kovacic might start, and then you might have Saul, chipping in maybe for Jorginho, and then for the next game you might have Jorginho and Saul starting against Zenit, knowing the fact that Zenit a little bit more easier team than Aston Villa, and then in an easier atmosphere. You might see that. The thing here is the permutation combinations are many, but I would be happy if Saul starts. I would be happy if Saul comes off the bench. I'd be happy whatever Thomas Tuchel decides. But the thing here is either of Jorginho or Kovacic, one definitely has to start. So Jorginho definitely cements his place. It's just the thing that Saul comes in either in the first team or maybe in the second half, just to give some rest to the other half, so that in the next game against Zenit, that player can go full-fledged right from minute one.
I'm just looking at some of the comments. Timo, thank you so much for joining. My man, he's gone with Jovicic. Then we've got Brent Smith saying, I want to see him off the bench. Cover knows the game plan, plus he gets tired quick. Yeah, there you go. Someone saying Kovacic and Jorginho, and then Saul off the bench. Michael is saying we have a game in midweek, so Georgie or Kova have rest for this game. Yeah, Zenit. So it's very mixed, and that's fine. This is why we've got Saul, because he's a proper option for us. Saul will come on in the second half against Aston Villa. There you go. Brent Smith again saying if he gets a solid 30 against Villa, I could see him starting against Zenit. Yeah, maybe build up Saul for that Zenit game, because if Saul doesn't start for this game, he's most likely starting for the Zenit game, and then we've got Spurs game coming up, which is Kante hopefully should be fit by that Zenit game. If not, then hopefully we can start seeing him against Spurs as well. Rams wants a shout out to you, Rams, mate. Hope you're having a very good day. Varun is saying Saul will start against Zenit. Yeah, there you go. Look, we'll keep with Jorginho and Kovacic for this one. We've got Saul as a background. He possibly might come off the bench. I wouldn't be surprised, as like the boys have said, if Saul starts as well. Either way, whatever Thomas Tuchel does in that department is absolutely fine, because we've now got 4 absolute superstar midfielders. Obviously, Kante is not available for this one. Hopefully, he'll be available for the Zenit one, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, up front, this is where it gets very, very tricky. Once again, I'm going to lock in my man, Hakim, my Habibi, Ziyech starts. I don't want to hear anything from anyone. I don't care if you call me biased. I don't care if you call me I'm a Ziyech lover boy, this, that, one. No, yes, I am. I agree with all of that. All of those statements are true. All of the above. True. The way I'm thinking about this is Ziyech has not gone on international break. He's been at the training grounds and been training with Chelsea. He's fresh. He's come off the injury. Mason Mount has been playing 3 games. I know he's got the engine to carry on, but I feel like this is a game where Ziyech could impose himself. I'm picturing assists. I'm picturing goals, assists for Lukaku. In fact, I'm even going to lock this in. Lukaku should start, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. He's not injured. Thomas Tuchel has confirmed that. The question was raised whether he's injured. He's fully fit, as the title of this preview as well has it. Lukaku is fully fit. All of that drama is about the minor injury and, news articles saying that he could miss out. I always knew, because Lukaku said that it was a minor thing. He was just going to get it scanned. We'll see what happens, but he's hopefully will start. I feel like he should be starting. And Ziyech and Lukaku should have a good combination. There's been some good pictures. I just want to bring one picture out in training, which I put up. There's been some really, really good sort of props that Chelsea admin is doing. And I like to see this combination. I really do. I truly want to see this combination. So for me, these two for sure will hold the last one, because that is the contention as to what's going on. But I'll go to you, Daniel. Are you happy with Lukaku and Ziyech, or are you looking at different permutations?
No, I mean, I can't complain with either options, to be honest. I mean, Lukaku is, if he's fit, I personally think he's undroppable for your, Premier League matches. Sure. And it was really good hearing Thomas Tuchel come out and say, "Oh no, he's not injured. He's 100% fit." Because there was a little bit of a concern, like, oh, is this going to be an ongoing issue? But yeah, Thomas Tuchel has completely just gotten rid of that idea. But Hakim Ziyech, look, he's a player. He's another one. It's similar to Chilwell in a sense. He's got to play. He's obviously he had that really unfortunate injury in the Super Cup, but he has been over the course of pre-season probably our most promising player within the squad.
Yep.
Now I know players have come back late, all sorts, but Hakim Ziyech, every time he's played, he's showed up, and so I think in this instance, we want to rest like Mason Mount, all these guys, Kai Havertz, they've been playing an extensive amount of international football over the past week.
And you know what, Daniel, there's so many matches coming up. There's no need for them to just play lot and burn out.
Exactly. And it's not like, in dropping Mason Mount or Kai Havertz, we're, significantly downgrading. Like Hakim Ziyech is in that category of world class on his day. So I can't complain with that. Look, I think I really like it personally. I think there has to be a certain system to really suit Hakim Ziyech with the Chelsea attacking front line. But I like the idea, excites me, that creativity. He's got that real wizardry with that wand of a left foot. So I think, we could be seeing assists galore if he's given the opportunity.
Yeah, no, I'm already seeing the live chat. Someone saying, bro, no way Mount ain't playing. I mean, if Mount's playing this, is Mount also playing Zenit? And is Mount also playing Spurs? I mean, surely Mount needs a rest in between. He's played 3 games for England. Like, are we looking to just burn him down? I mean, there are other players. That's why we have a squad. Few are also saying Werner, Lukaku, Ziyech. We'll talk about the final selection, but that is one of mine. Ralph is saying Lukaku has a small thigh problem. Look, this has been disbanded by Thomas Tuchel in the press conference that he's fully fit, so there shouldn't be any issue. Ralph is also saying Lukaku, Havertz, Hudson-Odoi. I mean, Ishan, is Hudson-Odoi even a shout in this front 3, or you liking the Lukaku Ziyech situation at the moment?
You shouldn't be surprised if Thomas Tuchel out of nowhere puts Hudson-Odoi in the right-sided attacking tens. In the left-sided attacking tens. But yeah, anything is possible because the thing that concerns me here, and the point to ponder here is the lineup now, just like you said many times, that lineup now definitely reflects on the lineup against Zenit as well, because there's not much time between these
literally,
two games.
I think 2 or 3 days. 3 days or something.
Yeah. And definitely we need to think about the Zenit game before planning for the lineup for this game. Definitely. And like you said, Mount and Havertz, they've played all games, if I'm not wrong. Maybe not Havertz, if I'm not wrong.
I think Havertz just missed one. Yeah, he missed one in the middle.
Mount played all the games and he definitely needs a rest. And if the thing here is, if Mount plays here, definitely he's not playing the Zenit game. And I see Ziyech definitely starting in one of the 2 games at least. Now that depends on which game Mount is starting and which game he's not. If Mount is starting this game, maybe Ziyech gets to start the next game. And if Mount does not start this game, maybe Ziyech starts this game and Mount starts the next game. But I think so. If I had to make a prediction, I'd go with Lukaku, Ziyech, and Havertz, just on the point that Havertz has played 1 game less than Mason Mount. I think so. It will be Ziyech, Havertz, and Lukaku, just from that perspective, because we need to look at fatigue at this point of time, because there are chain of games in span of 1 week. We've got 3 games, and that's crazy. These guys have immense amount of work rate, and especially Mason Mount, he's played every game for England, and the work rate that he puts in every single minute of a game, it's very, very immense. So he definitely needs a rest. And if this is the game that he gets rest, well and good. He might start against Zenit. If he rests in this, so Ziyech is the best candidate to start and get his wheels get going again after that sort of pause due to injury. So yeah, for me it is Ziyech, Havertz, and Lukaku. But we must not be surprised if Hudson-Odoi chips in as well.
Yeah, man, 100%. We shouldn't be surprised. We've got such quality depth. We shouldn't be surprised. A lot of people are already saying Lukaku and Ziyech, and throwing in Havertz as well. So I'm going to lock in Lukaku and Ziyech. I think the boys have agreed with that as well. Ishan has already thrown in his third player, which is Havertz. Daniel, I'll go to you. A lot of the live chat is going with Havertz, but this is one of the questions in the press conference. And shout out to Olivia Bozaglo. She always asks big questions. And she asked, what's the situation with Timo Werner? And Thomas Tuchel was very, very easygoing with it. He said, yeah, we need to find, there will be chances where you'll see Lukaku and Werner. And Timo Werner likes to have a reference up front. He specifically said reference, and he talks about Lukaku being that reference. I'm starting to think maybe he may just entertain this in this match with Timo. Let's be honest, he still banged in 3 goals during this international break. I know he had that horrendous miss, which we won't go into deeper. We've had a full episode where Ishan and I, we talked about this yesterday. But I feel like Timo hasn't featured much at all this season. So maybe this is a game we bring him in. Havertz did play for Germany, and he was in that flu sort of issue in the middle. Do we then now put him back into the starting lineup again? Does he come off the bench? Havertz is one player that has already featured in the Premier League against Liverpool. He started. I mean, my pick is Werner. Ishan saying Havertz. A lot of the people in the live chat is saying Havertz as well. Daniel, what's your opinion? And as Ishan said, we do need to think about the upcoming games as well. So do you give Werner an opportunity here, knowing that at least the brother has banged in some goals?
Again, this is another position. Every position is so difficult to pick because of the crazy circumstances. There's no doubt that Kai Havertz has proven himself to be a starter this season. He's been phenomenal. He's done nothing wrong every time he's played. And I think, he's going to be one of the first names on the team sheet over the course of this season. But I think this fixture, I would side with Timo Werner, because I'm dying to see a Lukaku, a reference point with Timo Werner, playing alongside Lukaku, because, we slag off Timo Werner. People are so critical of him, but people forget how prolific he was in the Bundesliga, playing in a 2-striker system with a physically imposing number 9 alongside him, because that gives him so much more space to work with, that point of reference that he can run in behind. This is a game made for Timo Werner, in my opinion. And I personally would love to see Werner and Lukaku start in this match.
Yeah, look, you've gone with Werner. I've gone with Werner. I've got similar reasonings like yourself. Ishan makes very compelling argument about Havertz as well. And, Ishan's got major concerns with Timo and his finishing and whatnot. We won't get into all of that. As we said, we had a very good conversation about this yesterday. Guys, do check that video out. I'll drop it later on in the live chat. But Varun, thank you so much for the super chat. You've been a massive supporter of the channel. Always. I do appreciate that heaps. Varun is saying, Havertz, no, Timo, please. Havertz is fantastic. I think a lot of people are very, very traumatized by Timo Werner. I mean, look, he's going to get opportunities, live chat. Honestly, we've got 311 live right now. Smash the like button. Get those likes up. And I want to see from you guys, think about the next game as well, the Zenit game and Spurs game. You are going to end up seeing Timo get some minutes. So, I mean, let me know, live chat, what you guys think. But Ishan, are you going to be upset if Werner starts? I really want to hear from you.
Yes. Now, the thing here is, listen, right from day one when Lukaku was signed, I said that, I'm very, very excited to see Werner and Lukaku work together. And I still believe that this would work. If this is the way Timo Werner improves... By the way,
Ishan, I love this. You guys called Werner criticism banter, but now you don't want to start. Brent Smith, I love you.
Brent Smith is a legend.
He's a legend. He is the real one here. Ishan and I, we literally had this conversation yesterday, and we got hammered. We got hammered because we were critically criticizing Timo Werner. And now that I'm backing for a Werner to start and Daniel's backing for a Werner to start, now the live chat, over 300, don't want Werner to start. What do you want to criticize Werner? Or do you want, this is the thing, Ishan. Our fan base, Ishan, So I don't think they think at times. Like
Hashtag confused.
it's whatever you say. I want to say the opposite of it.
Opposite, yeah.
Regardless
of whatever argument you give, just opposite.
Always the opposite. I don't care. I don't want to agree with what you're saying. I want to say the opposite. And now that we're here backing Timo, all of a sudden the live chat now doesn't want Timo to start. But anyway, Ishan,
all right, Daniel, the conversation here was Timo misses, right? Timo has missed a lot. Now, the argument from the opposition side, from the live chat, comes that, oh, even Drogba missed. Is that even an argument? Is that even a debate? I mean, what are we talking here? And there come, we've said that multiple times that in the last season, Werner missed around 19 big chances to score. Straight chances to score, and then again a counter argument comes with no sense whatsoever, says that even Mohamed Salah missed 19 chances. Or did you see the number of goals that he scored? No. Without seeing the number of goals, without comparing the goals, they're saying the missed chances are equal. So the thing is, nobody is slandering here. The thing, even this is the same thing that I tweeted, Miz. And you know that I don't tweet much, but when I do, it's something serious. And the thing here is, it's his weakness. He's not scoring. He is not scoring. It's not been one game. It's not been 1 week. It's not been 1 month. It's been over a year that he's been out of form. He's lost his scoring boots. I don't know where he's lost that. But this is a problem now because it's not just Chelsea. It's in Germany as well. It's a national team as well. He's been coveted and he's been, he's been training under Thomas Tuchel in Chelsea. He's been training under Hansi Flick now in Germany. And before that, Joachim Löw. These are high-class, top-class, world-class managers that you can call. And even then, when you've got the sense of security that you are playing in the playing 11, there's nobody, not much challenging in your playing 11. You'll be getting the chances even after that. Even if then you cannot perform, if you cannot finish, maybe you can create 100 chances but finish 0. What's the point? There is a problem. There is a problem and that needs to be rectified. The thing here is I understand and I'm really excited. I'll be very honest with you. I'm very, very excited to see Werner and Lukaku work together. And I still believe that this can work. I still believe that Werner can start scoring left, right, and center if he starts working with Lukaku. And I wouldn't mind at all. I'll be very, very honest with you. I would not mind if Werner and Lukaku starts together tomorrow and maybe for many games in the near future as well. If that's what it takes to make Werner better, 100%. Please do it. But he needs to be better. The thing here is he is a man on a ledge at this point of time. We all know the number of attacking options that we've got in this season. And Lukaku basically cementing his position because it's Lukaku, right? And we've got Mount, Havertz, Ziyech, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, so many options. And we might, again, just like Pulisic, we might not even need Werner by any means if he does not perform. So he's a man on a ledge. He's a man on pressure. He needs to deliver. Whatever chances he gets, he needs to deliver. And maybe, Miz, this is the last hope that I can see that he can improve alongside Lukaku. If he starts playing, if he starts scoring, well and good. He'll be in the playing 11 every single day.
Yeah, man, I have to agree as well. Well said there by Ishan. Varun, thank you so much once again for the super chat. I'm with Ishan on this. Werner, Timo misses. I mean, look, as Ishan said, he would prefer Havertz because he's got doubts about Werner and his finishing issues. I think we all have, but I think it's safe to say I just get this feeling from Thomas Tuchel that he's going to try this combination now with Werner and Lukaku. And if it works, as once again Daniel and Ishan have mentioned, it could turn out to be magical, to be honest, and it could make us very, very lethal. Live chat as well. There's a lot of you guys are saying Havertz, but there's a lot of you guys are saying, respect Werner, give him that opportunity with Lukaku to see what he can do. He brings a lot of facets. The movement, the pace, the speed is one thing that we shouldn't disregard one bit. And when you got a gunman like Lukaku up front, we shouldn't worry about the goals factor. And maybe that's something that could be beneficial for Werner, that the pressure might be off and he may look like $1 million, to be honest. So, look, we're going to stick with Werner because I feel like that's what's going to happen. And Daniel's gone with Werner as well. But we've got Havertz in the background anyway. So either way, it doesn't really matter. Anything is possible. This is the lineup, predicted lineup we're going with, ladies and gentlemen. Mendy, Rudy, AC, Chalobah, Azpilicueta, Chilwell, Jorginho, Kovacic, Werner, Ziyech, Lukaku. Notable sort of background names: Aspi could start as RCB if he doesn't start in the right wing back. Cho in the right wing back if Aspi starts in RCB. Alonso just behind Chilwell could be a possibility as well, 100%. Saul could be a possibility in the midfield, and Havertz up front instead of Timo Werner. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know what your thoughts are. We are going to now talk about the score prediction. We've got nearly 300 live. We've got 150 likes. Let's go to 200 likes for the stream before we finish things off. I think it's going to be amazing, feat if we can do that. 200 likes in the stream. So, guys, I know you guys have enjoyed it because you guys are sticking around. So smash that. And we've got a big announcement right at the end for tomorrow. So do stick around for that as well. I'll go to Daniel first up. Score prediction, my man. How do you think this is going to go? What's your thoughts? We've done the team. Are you confident?
Look, I am confident. But one thing I will say, if this was any other week, I'd be significantly more confident. I think the Chelsea team at full strength, I don't think Aston Villa beat them 9 times out of 10. With the sort of chaotic circumstances surrounding the internationals, it's certainly, they're probably more disadvantaged than we are. So in saying that, I do think Chelsea should be favourites. I'm going to go for a 3-0. I'd love a clean sheet, but
I love that.
It's a tough one. But I think Chelsea have the quality to overcome Aston Villa.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel's gone with 3-0. Ishan, I mean, how are you picturing this match going for us?
Yeah, I think so. It should be comfortable, but also I think we should not underestimate Aston Villa a bit because I still feel that they've got a very, very decent and a balanced squad. So I think so. I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory, a comfortable and a dominating 2-0 victory. It might be more. Make no mistakes. We should not be surprised if Daniel gets his prediction right, and also maybe it goes more than that, 4-0, 5-0, just because Martinez isn't the keeper. It might go way above that, but I'll still play safe and then say 2-0.
Some Aston Villa fans in the club, welcome to this channel. Has gone with 3-1 Aston Villa win with a Rudiger red card. Very, very audacious, prediction there. Musa Sal going with the 2-0 win for us. We've got Ore going with 3-0. I'm going with a 3-0 as well. I feel like Aston Villa without Martinez, without Buendia, still respecting Aston Villa, but I'm going with the 3-0 as well. I feel like too much strength in depth that we have. And Ziyech, I'm predicting 2 assists and a goal. 2 assists for Lukaku. Lukaku 2 goals, Ziyech 1 goal, 2 assists for Ziyech. Let's get that 3 points, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Let's do that. Live chat, I've just pinned a message which is there at the moment. This is the discussion Ishan and I had about Timo Werner and Pulisic. Do check that out after this stream ends. So it was a detailed conversation that we've had. You're going to enjoy that about Pulisic and Timo Werner. And we talked a little bit about Armando Broja as well. Now, tomorrow, you want to stick around, 270 live. Get those likes up to 200. We are literally about, 37 away from 200. I think we can get there. We've got 270. Let's get there straight away. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Remember to subscribe. We are running wild towards 8,000 subscribers. Let's do that together. Tomorrow, pre-match, 1 hour before the kickoff. 1 hour before the kickoff. I believe the kickoff is at 5:30 UK time. 1 hour before that, which is 4:30, Ishan and I will be here live doing the pre-match. Taryn is going to be at Stamford Bridge. The channel has been able to buy the ticket for Taryn to see the game at Stamford Bridge. He's going to be live 1 hour before for the pre-match for us. Hopefully we can see some players training at the background, reporting from Stamford Bridge, which is going to be very, very great. Ishan and I will go through the lineups and whatnot. Straight after that, a new stream for the watch along, where Ishan and I will do the watch along. And then, of course, halftime, Taryn will join from Stamford Bridge again Hopefully we can see some, live images of Stamford Bridge at that time, at halftime, with people and players and whatnot. So do look out for that. And then straight after the match, review. Hopefully Jonathan will be there. Taryn live for Stamford Bridge. Ishan will be there. I'll be there. So it'll be a very, very interesting stream. So do catch us for that. You want to have the notification on straight away. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us till the end of this show. Once again, my panelists, Daniel and Ishan, their socials are in the description. Instagram, go and follow both of them in the Instagram, and also follow me in Instagram. I'm trying to grow my Instagram account, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, follow me in the Instagram. The link is there straight away. But also Daniel, his YouTube channel, 231 live right now. Please go and subscribe to his channel straight away. You're going to get some amazing content. He's a Chelsea fan, but he does a whole heap of content about many other clubs as well. So you're going to enjoy that. Honestly, I've enjoyed being in his channel recently. So do go and subscribe to him right away. The link is in the description. And also check out the pinned message if you want to see the conversation Ishan and I had about Timo Werner and Pulisic. Yesterday, we got a late super chat here. Let's quickly take care of this. Varun, thank you once again. Do you guys watch cricket? Any IPL fans? I used to watch a lot of cricket. I only watch through live scores now. Unless it's World Cup, I'll definitely get into it. Test matches, I enjoy that as well. Obviously, I'm from Bangladeshi background and Australia, obviously living in Australia. So I try and get enough of that. IPL, because of the insane times, it's very late at night. I don't always try and get into it, but I love Rajasthan Royals. I do try and follow them at times. But I'm pretty sure Daniel's in the same boat. He loves cricket. Obviously, the Australian summer is coming around the corner, which I'm sure hopefully we're going to watch that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us till the end of this show. Until next time, everyone, take care and see you.